He was like, if he had known, he wouldn't have sent his children outside the country to study. How prepared are you for your old age? Do you know we are all going to grow old one day? Do you know a time will come when your strength will fail you? You will not be able to stand like you used to stand. You will not be able to do those things you cherish doing. You will not be able to shout. You will not be able to do those beautiful things that you like doing. I bet you must have seen an old man or an old woman bent down maybe with a stick walking around and stuff like that. Do you reflect on their situation or their condition when you see them? You see, most of us are not prepared for that phase of our life. Most of us are not ready for that transition. But if we don't die before that period, we are all going to pass through that phase. But ironically, most of us are not prepared for that phase. I once visited a very good friend of mine. He lives in a very large, massive compound. He has his duplex. He has where his visitors stay, security stay, and then the gate man. A beautiful mansion where he stays. I visited him on this day, and he was just sitting outside. I think he was thinking. He was meditating. He was. I don't know what was the problem. So when I met him, I was like, Morga, how are you doing? He said he's doing good. I was like, you're not so bright. What is the problem? It took some time and he started telling me the story, which is what I want to share with us. My very good friend, who I will call Mr. X, is about 78 years old. He is an influential figure in the society. He has his stints in politics, in the academia, and virtually in business. Is that kind of person you term a success all round. He gave birth to 6 children, 4 boys, 2 girls. Two of the boys are in the United Kingdom. One is in the United States of America. One is in Japan. The four of them. The girls, one is in UK with the other brothers, and the other one is in the United States of America. Grown, I think the eldest should be about 50 years thereabout. So he was like, he took all his time while he was making money. He was ensuring that these children of his, they get the best of life. That he said they're not going to suffer like he suffered. So he took them to the best schools and they went outside the country to study. That he was thinking after they started, they're going to come back to manage his business, but he discovered that when they were through with their academics, they said no, they don't want to come back to the country, they don't want to come back to Nigeria, they want to stay over there. He said he's been calling them, he's been asking them to come over and manage his business. They said no, Dad, give it to somebody else. Dad, we don't need to come, give it to charity and stuff like that. So he was ruminating on how he has spent virtually every bit of his life trying to get a better life for his children, expecting his children to continue his legacy. He said I should look around the house. Virtually there was nobody apart from the lady house help that comes around to cook and clean. He said nobody. He has begged his children to send their kids to come around and visit him. They said no, that they don't trust the Nigerian system. They cannot send their kids and stuff like that. And he's telling me he's living a lonely life and he's regretting sending his children outside the country to school. It's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. Remember, we're talking about we're planning for our old age. You know, most times we have this challenge in this part of the world. I know of a very, very rich man in one of the cities in the southeast. Is has a very big manufacturing company and is very old now and bedridden. And they be calling the children to come around to handle the business. They say they are not interested. They should sell the property. The expanse of land this man has in that city is so much. and he's been asking what he would do. So back to the story I was talking about, my friend. He was like, if he had known, he wouldn't have sent his children outside the country to study. That they went outside the country, and because of the life there, they forgot everything about Nigeria, about him. They are not interested. They don't want to come. They don't want to even visit. He was telling me for the past 5 years he's not seen any of them, because the last time he saw them was he traveled out to meet them and he went around, they paid his flight. But now they said they're not going to come back. It's as if they are waiting for him to die. The problem is, even if he dies, the children are still not ready to come. So it's like, what will happen to all his investment? What will happen to all his business, all his property? What will happen? He said that is why he is thinking. So I was like, what do you regret the most? And he says his regret is sending his children outside the country. But I asked, I don't think that is enough reason. I think maybe you never taught them what they need to know. You never allow them go through that phase of life, experiencing life in this part of the country. They don't understand brotherliness. They don't understand communalship. They don't understand relationship. They don't understand the place of the parents. And maybe you didn't teach them all this. That is why they left and they abandoned you. It has a lot of stories to share. He told me a lot of things, how far he has gone, the experience he's having, appointment with doctors, nobody's looking after him in the night, and stuff like he's living a life of regret. We need to take our time and ponder on this. How prepared are we for that phase of our life? What have you deposited in the lives of your children, in the lives of your relation, in the lives of your sibling, in the life of people around you that will take care of that phase in your life where you become passively inactive? How prepared are you? This story has another part. We're going to tell you the other part in our subsequent videos. So I'm going to stop now for you to reflect on this question. How prepared are you for your old age? How ready are you? What have you deposited in people around you? What will keep you that time when you become inactive and cannot meet your responsibility, as in actively meet those things you can do? It's a question you and I need to answer. Or if you have an advice for the man or for people passing through a similar phase, or you can drop them on the comment section. We'll stop here for now. Remember to like, comment, and don't forget to share. Thank you.